Chase.
Aye.
Newberry.
Here.
We're going to ask to remove item number 3 from the consent agenda. So I would entertain a motion to that effect.
Motion to approve is amended.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's see. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carried. We'll go to our council and staff reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's see. If you noted, we received that water quality grant, so about half the cost, so 65 and change. So we'll be meeting with IDNR rep on site the next week or so. And then we'll be meeting with DNR to review the contract requirements, et cetera. So we'll be moving forward that as well. Community project funding app is due Friday. Everybody had a week's notice, so we've been working through those in the community, and that's on the resolution and letter of supports on tonight's agenda for our sanitary force main project. Trees Forever grant we've been working on, targeting an April plant date, so we'll keep you posted on that as well. Cooperation committee met and went through kind of a summary of where we are to date. I think April 7th was our return meeting date. Wanted to follow up and discuss probably 4 key areas: communication, capital equipment, tree canopy, and rental inspections, multi-res related, were the 4 main topics. So we're going to follow up on the 7th and with that discussion. Engineering services, so you're going to see several engineering services agreements coming forward. There'll be one for the Water Quality Initiative project, as well as a contract with DNR coming forward. With that project, the site gets graded. I've been talking to the engineer about getting that parking area carved out. If you recall, for next budget, for this budget and next year's budget, we have funding set aside to start through that park. I've also applied for a AARP grant to help us get started on that as well. So I'll be bringing that forward for discussion, as well as Mount Pleasant Street. Still talking about agency, the 3 intersections, engineers coming Friday to talk about those 3 items. The trail, water quality initiative I mentioned, in parking, the force main with Lindsay, and those 4 smaller projects that we budgeted for as well, for $5,000, I believe it was. And then I'll likely be putting a trailhead committee together to kind of get the start back together on moving those projects forward. Melanie was on that committee from the council. If there's anybody interested in participating in that, if they want to let me know, certainly appreciate that. DC is May 19th and 20th, and we met yesterday for the first planning committee for Southeast Iowa counties heading to DC. So if you're interested, please let me know sooner rather than later, so that we can get you on the list. So, thank you.
Thank you. Chase?
The guys have been out exercising valves this week, and also TV and sewers all week. Last week, everyone went to Corville for a work zone and flagger safety training. I got in the sewer lining quote. just this morning, so next meeting I'll have it on there to get approved. It was slightly less than the other company, so ended up working out pretty good. And they're hoping they can still get done before July of this year, if we get it moving. Truck 17 that we have to replace next year had to get towed 2 days ago, so we're looking into what that's gonna be, but I'll let you know when I know something. And then, Houston, we plan on shutting the west side by Houston and Vernon down next week, weather permitting, to fix the water line and fix the road, so it'll be shut probably most of the week starting Monday. So we made a Facebook post, but that's all I got.
Thank you. Jesse, fire, police?
We got a couple trainings coming up this month. Well, one this month. We'll be working at the school with Burlington Sheriff's Department, a bunch of other school or other police departments, law enforcement. And then in April, I've been speaking with Allie with MAD, and we're going to do a post-prom presentation the Friday before prom, having a accident scene, going from accident scene to just the whole process of doing that, all the way through a funeral to court, all the way through there. So it's going to be a couple-hour long thing, but we're working with the school district. Is very supportive of it, and getting help with MAD, State Patrol, and several other organizations will be involved that day. It'll be a rain shine event, so it'll be a good thing. We haven't had one out here in West Burlington for well over probably 12, 14 years, if not longer, since we've had this last demonstration. So it's good. I hope it makes a lasting remark on the kids. So that's all I have.
Good, thank you.
Jesse, I just have one thing. Since we had some warm weather, we had some kids out on their mopeds and bikes and stuff like that, and they're down the middle of the road, no helmets, and just zigzagging. I don't know if they need another course at school. And
Okay, I'll talk to them about that. And then one other thing I forgot to mention was for the fire department, we started a driver operator course. We have West Burlington, Mediapolis, and I think there's a couple other departments that's sending people down here. So it's a 10-week course held on Thursdays. So if you see our trucks out driving around here in a couple weeks, we'll be out pumping with the new firefighters. So that's all I got.
Thanks. Anything from you, Kelly? Anything for finance or?
No.
Well, in that case, we'll go to council members. And Andy, you want to start off this time?
Chase, quick question. Do we have any kind of signage we can put up on Houston saying like, hey, next week this thing's going to be closed?
Not, I could try to get something. I'm not sure. It'd have to be homemade, because we don't have anything.
That's one of those
Talk to
that
Nick and see if they've got anything we can work with.
something we can borrow or
Something we can borrow.
Yeah.
not the end of the world, but if we had it, I feel like that would help people
Yep.
for that. Not everybody will see Facebook. Business of the Year, Thursday, March 19th. We're going to meet at 10:45 a.m. here at City Hall. And then we will walk or ride or bike or take vehicles or whatever to the winner and surprise them there at 11 a.m. So if you want to be part of that, 10:45 a.m. here at City Hall on Thursday, March 19th. And then we'll have a little reception at the winner. It'll be a surprise who it is. And then I need to have a discussion about fireworks for this year. So in 2024 is the year we went up to $12,500 for fireworks. And in 25, we stayed at the same amount, 12,500. That bought us about 1,600 total fireworks, 1,600 shots. This year, their costs are increasing about 30%, and they're passing about 15% of that on to us.
So to get the same show as last year, about 1,600 shots, it would cost us 14,500. If we wanted to stay at the 12,500, it would be roughly 15% less of a show. I didn't break that number down. I think it's about 1,300. 1370 shells instead of the 1,600 from last year. So I don't care what all you want to do, that number comes out of hotel motel and is transferred over to pay for that. So if we want to stay at the 12.5, we can. If we want to go up to 14.5, we can. If we want to go somewhere in the middle, just need to know what to do.
I'd go to 14.5 and keep it. We get such rave reviews about our fireworks.
We certainly do.
I don't have a problem with that.
I would say, yeah. Right. Seems like there's a consensus that we'll go with the 14.5, so.
Okay, keep the same show and go up to 14.5.
You'll see that as an amendment since it's this fiscal year, so that's all.
Okay.
On the amended budget that Angie's working on.
Okay.
Hotel motel, I assume.
That is all I had. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
No, Your Honor, I have nothing.
Nothing tonight. Okay.
Officer Triprez was awarded with Officer of the Year, so
He was.
congratulations to him.
Thank you. I'll let him know.
Please?
I don't have anything.
All right. Nor I, so we'll move on. Our first item under community reports is from Chris Graham.
Therese got to experience her first steering committee meeting recently. What'd you think?
I think I'd have to set my alarm again in 2 weeks. Oh, my gosh.
She is
I've
like me,
retired for a long time.
like me, not a morning person.
Figure I'll just make sure you come up.
Yeah, I
okay?
appreciate that.
Should come here in a second.
Okay. Hey, not bad. Technology. All right, my name is Chris Graham. I'm the Executive Director of the Greater Burlington CVB. I appreciate the time. I'd like to give a very kind of abbreviated version of my tourism update because there's some very West Burlington specific items I'd like to get to. 2025 year in review is a little bit of a misnomer because the most recent data we have from the state for tourism is actually a year in arrears, so it's 2024. But what does tourism mean to Des Moines County? In 2024, over $175 million in tourism spending. You can see the jobs that it supports and the money that go to the municipalities. This was a slight decline in tourism spending in 2024, which was the trend. At the meeting where they unveiled this data, they kind of expressed how that was kind of felt around the state. In fact, in Southeast Iowa, there was only one county that saw an increase, and that was Lee County. To give you an indication of the trend, I pulled up the same charts between Des Moines County and Dubuque County. Obviously, the numbers are slightly different because the counties are different sized, but you can see that the trend is the same. Coincidentally, and this just happened yesterday, I was on a call with our visitor tracking platform folks, Placer. And two folks in different parts of the country, Atlanta and Ohio, both said that tourism numbers are soft and have been soft for the last 12 months or so. However, if it's an indication, hotel occupancy in 2025 in our area, in our comp set, ended up 8.3%, which obviously we don't have 2025's tourism spending numbers, but these typically correlate. So I think this is a good indication of what we could see from 2025 when those numbers are released. Marketing review for 2025, we saw increased engagement in our advertising. Over 4.6 million impressions. That was over double what we had year over year. I did carry on with my goal of promoting Fun City throughout the year and explored more niche program or more niche advertising, including a in-studio television appearance promoting the Burlington Jazz Festival.
We did explore new marketing directions. You may be aware that we had a YouTube pre-roll ad campaign for West Burlington as a relocation destination. We did expand our event campaigns, meaning in my world, I kind of changed the threshold for the events that I might put money behind as an advertisement to spur on tourism. And we did have a seasonal mailer that promoted summer events, and we will continue those seasonal mailers. 2026 preview. If you're not aware, we've got a new tourism website that's in the incubator. So I'm working with a firm that is developing a tourism-specific website. And we're hoping for an early Q2 release. It's moving along pretty well right now. Regarding advertising, we're going to continue focusing on promoting individual events through micro campaigns. This is what I was talking about with the expanded advertising. We've got a larger seasonal campaign in the works, which I'll get to in a second here. And we're going to continue utilizing a varied mix of marketing channels, so all the socials, display ads, TikTok, which it kills part of my soul to say every time I say those words, but it's all right. And targeted digital ads geofenced around like events. I'm going to pause on this for just a sec. A couple of years ago, I partnered with, or the CVB partnered with Spirit Hollow to attend golf conventions in Chicago and St. Louis. And while we were there, I contracted a company to run an ad campaign that was geofenced just around the conventions, so that anybody who went to those golf conventions, they saw an ad for Spirit Hollow. And if they engaged with that ad in any way, that ad then followed them when they went home for a month. It's a little creepy, but it works. And it was relatively inexpensive. And I thought, this is what I call the fish in the barrel advertising, right? So why can't we do that for other events? And I'll use the Burlington Jazz Festival as just one example. There are other jazz festivals around the area that we could then geofence and advertise to, because if you're going to a jazz festival in Iowa City, there's a very good chance you like jazz. So why don't we tell you about our event so that our event is then on your radar? So we're exploring that with a number of different areas. For search engine optimization, we're going to continue to produce algorithm feeding content. The weekly blog posts that I put out, short form videos. If it's not on your radar, Amy Moyner and I recently started a new podcast called Destination Greater Burlington. It is as off the rails as you can probably imagine if you know Amy Moyner. But it's fun. Destination Greater Burlington. It's on Apple and Spotify and all those places. The seasonal marketing that I was referring to, for 2026, I intend to have a campaign that's called Greater Burlington Naturally. The goal of it is to have a year-long campaign highlighting attractions seen through the lens of an outdoor enthusiast. So I'm talking about short-form videos, pre-roll ads, social media hits, display ad campaigns with consistent messaging and visuals. But what I mean by the lens of outdoor enthusiasts, my goal is to highlight non-outdoor events, attractions, by correlating them with themed content. And the example I like using is, I imagine a video where you see from the point of view of somebody walking along the Mississippi riverfront, which is right by downtown Burlington. Well, that's an outdoor enthusiast thing, going on trails, experiencing the outdoors. But it just so happens downtown is really close, and there's a lot of great shops and ... You can see how that would correlate. Okay, the West Burlington ad campaign. From December to February, I did a pre-roll campaign that was targeted to communities over in Illinois, advertising West Burlington as a relocation destination, because at the time I remember joking that there are people who are primed to relocate and they all live in Illinois, so let's target them. The campaign generated over 360,000 impressions, nearly 9,000 clicks, and over 6,000 conversions, which I had to look that up because that doesn't seem like that correlates, but I'll get to that in a second. A relatively inexpensive cost per conversion and a decent click-through rate. I've heard, because I have to have people inform me on these things, that anywhere between 1.8 to 2 is a pretty decent CTR. And people have told me that, including people who may or may not be related to West Burlington City Council people. Okay, so not to get super nerdy, but the difference between clicks and conversions, because to me those should be the same number. If you click on the ad, that's a conversion, except it's not really. So if you click on the ad, that's a click, and it's automatically registered as a click. But then that session has to complete on the target end. So they have to be then, sent over, or a new window pops up with the West Burlington webpage, and it has to go through its entire loading sequence, and maybe they even have to sit on there for a second or two for it to be considered a session, and therefore a conversion. That's why there's a difference in those numbers. I was going to say bad news. To me, it's not bad news, but the goal behind this relocation ad campaign was to then grow an audience to which I could retarget a second ad, to grow a number of people who are interested in relocating to West Burlington, kind of capture them as an audience, and then feed them an even longer video in the back end that further entices them to consider West Burlington as a place to move. Unfortunately, the campaign, there's a threshold in Google Ads that this campaign didn't rise above. So it never rose to the level of giving me what's called a retargeting audience. I did what I could to extend the window with which it captures that data, and it never crossed the threshold. That's okay. So the goal of the campaign wasn't realized, but I do recall sitting here talking to you guys about this campaign, and I said at the time, and I do believe this, even if it doesn't end up retargeting, or it doesn't end up in a single trackable person who clicked on it and said, I'm relocating to West Burlington, to me that's okay, because it still works as an awareness campaign. We still got West Burlington and the benefits of living and moving to West Burlington in front of a lot of eyeballs, and I think that's a win. So much so that I am exploring the idea of continuing this for Greater Burlington in general, just all the time. To me, we should be advertising all the time Greater Burlington as a relocation destination, and we should be advertising that 24/7, 365. So we're exploring that now, and that was fed by this idea for this campaign.
Chris, can I interrupt?
Please.
Don't you have to have somewhere to relocate to once you get here? When you're doing the advertising campaign? So
Yeah.
with our new housing subdivision, obviously, the senior housing is I think it's full at this point in time. We've got the multi-res, which is full as well, but now with 19 homes. The other aspect of it is quality of life and promoting amenities, quality of life that we have in the area. I think the piece that we're missing is the commercial side, because we're seeing an uptick in commercial activity.
Okay.
And including new activity coming forward. So it's not just relocate, it's personally, but your business perhaps as well. So I think it, and I have no idea if it's related to the activity here, but I have to assume that continuing to promote the community at large from both a residential relocation and a business relocation perspective should continue. I'd like to, personally, I'd like to see it continue.
I agree.
Maybe it had some impact on what we're seeing.
I agree.
Today.
I could foresee that being two different tracks of advertising in some way. I mean, maybe they wouldn't even look the same. But you remind me of a conversation I had with our marketing director when I proposed this idea of we should be doing this all the time. We should just have this campaign running all the time. And he agreed, but he brought up a very realistic, just a reality, which is we don't have a good location for people who are interested in engaging with that campaign for them to land and then be further engaged, right? West Burlington did a fantastic job of putting together a relocation page on your website. We got that together pretty quickly. But if we want that carrot to be as enticing as possible, we really need good content so that when they click on this ad, it goes somewhere where there are video testimonials. There's beautiful graphics and content that really show off West Burlington, Burlington, Danville, all those areas.
Will your new website be that?
It'd be a good platform for it, certainly. So that would be a good bed to plant that seed. But we need the content.
I think there's a lot of content out there, it's just a matter of gathering it up.
That's it. So those conversations have already started. But I love the idea of possibly two different tracks of peeling that banana. I don't know what analogy to use.
Chris, was this about $1,000 for this campaign, is that right? Just quick math, your conversion.
I don't have that number. I apologize.
I took your math up there. And
No, I'm with you.
But roughly though, you think?
I think it might have been slightly more than that, but I could be wrong. Yeah. It's a lot of eyeballs. I thought, honestly, I hadn't explored much in the YouTube side of advertising. It's not as, it's like anything else. You'll You'll put it in front of as many eyeballs as you're willing to pay for. Before I move on, any more questions about the relocation campaign? Okay, obviously there will be further updates as we explore the second phase of that. All right, I am super excited about this. If this is redundant, if you're already aware of all of this, I apologize. But a handful of months ago, I went up to Des Moines to sit through a session to learn about what they call their Catalyst Grant. And I was exploring that for another project that's unrelated to anything. But this learning session was hosted by two folks I call the two Jims. I haven't even memorized their last names. They're the two Jims to me, right? They work for IEDA. They do a lot of Main Street or downtown things, but they're just economic development folks. And it was a 2-hour session and easily the best training session I've ever been in. Literally 15 or 20 minutes into it, I thought, I wish Greg and Chad were both here, because they just started dropping pearls of wisdom regarding economic development that it was very impressive, right? So afterwards, when I learned that they've got a couple of programs that allows them or their cohorts to reach out into the community and kind of also, help spread their knowledge, I just jumped at the chance. They've got something called a downtown walkthrough that I scheduled for West Burlington on April 15th. I'll go through the itinerary and give my 2 cents on it. And it definitely has a point. It has a reason behind it and what they try to achieve when they're here. I just wanted to get them here. I'll be honest. I just wanted to get them here to walk around with you folks so that they can share their knowledge, so you can ask questions about them. And I'll get to that in a second, because Greg asked or made a suggestion I thought was brilliant. So on April 15th, the two Jims will be here. 1 p.m. they're going to meet with community leaders here, City Hall. 2 p.m. they're going to do a walk of downtown with those leaders. I'm going to put an asterisk on this because this is where Greg jumped in. 3 p.m. they're going to leave and go to dinner and kind of discuss the conversations and what they saw during the walkthrough, and then come back at 5 p.m. and do a presentation to the public again here at City Hall. And that is, I think that's a Wednesday, April 15th, right?
Yes.
Because
We did it just ahead of council.
Right. Greg very wisely brought up, hey, let's do this so we can wrap up before City Council. We were on a call with one of the gyms, and Greg suggested, hey, it's really close by. While you're here, could we hop over to Westland Mall really quick and just look at that? And they were amenable to that. So I realize it's a pretty tight time frame, but I'm hoping they're a little flexible on this. I hope they're able to get here at 1 p.m., kind of do their initial conversation, and then get out and walk around and get to Westland Mall and kind of scope the scene so they can come in and impart their information, because I think it's going to be very valuable.
Sounds like they know what they're doing, and they've been doing it for a while, so I don't take them too long to.
Quick funny story, and this is absolutely true. So we get there, and the room's full. There's a lot of folks there from across the state. And the first gym starts asking people where they're from. And I thought it was just an icebreaker, Burlington, okay. But he literally waited till he heard from almost everybody in the room, which was a little curious to me. Until into the training session, he started being very explicit about the Catalyst Grant and other cities who have applied and have failed. And I think he did that so that he wouldn't talk bad about anybody in the room. You know what I mean? So he saw who was here so that he made sure he didn't step on any toes. Anyway, so that's April 15th. If you can put it on, it'll be that Wednesday, but if you have it on your radar or could put it on your radar, I highly encourage you to be around to put your input, give your input, and to be there when they hopefully share whatever they find, because I thought it was brilliant. So I'm glad they're coming. That's what I've got. Any questions for me?
Just not a question, Chris. I wanted to thank you for last year. Several times we was asking a lot of questions. I know for a couple of weeks we was bombarding you, and you was feeding us back quick information. I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, for the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. That's the platform to which I was referring earlier, which we've subscribed to now, I think 3 years in a row. It wasn't guaranteed that we were going to continue with them, but we did. So if that opportunity arises again, and there's something that I can help with data-wise from that platform, I'm happy to do so.
Chris, I just wanted to say thank you. I think that's the first piece of West Burlington focused advertising that the partnership's done that I'm aware of anyway, and so thank you very much for help put that together. I also want to say that I think it's great how much video content is getting created now. I can remember 3 or 4 years ago, one of the goals was that this year we're going to develop a video, and I believe I said, you mean a week, right, or a day, or
Right.
an hour, or something. So it looks like you're doing a lot better getting that done as well. So thank you and the partnership.
Getting better. Just, I want to hop back for a second because I could see a look on your face. Are you curious about the platform I'm talking about?
Oh, a little bit. I'm not techie at all, so.
That's okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I apologize if I went through some of that fast. The partnership subscribes to a platform called Placer.ai. It's not the only one that does this, but it's the one to which we subscribe that provides us with visitor tracking data.
Okay.
And through a series of relationships they have with cell phone companies and also credit card companies, they track where people go, and then they allow us to access that information.
Very nice.
It sounds creepy on the surface, but I will tell you, this company and other companies like it, they don't know who you are. And it's not that they get that information and shield it from me. They literally never know. So they get information, they know about you, but they don't know you.
Right.
But it's extensive. It would blow your mind, the level of data and the level of drill down that's available.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No worries.
And Chris, that's information that, with the people who would be at our pool or use our pool, right?
Yeah,
Can we do the same thing for our 4th of July celebration?
absolutely can.
Kind of did last year, right? A little bit. You gave me some figures on
I did, yeah.
number of people in town and kind of where they were before and after, and then the week before, kind of the same data, so we have a little bit.
Some, okay.
Yeah.
It gets, again, not with, without drilling down too far, but you literally look at a map from like an aerial view and you can geofence an area. You can draw a line around an area and you give it a time frame and it tells you who was there.
Wow.
Or more accurately, how many were there.
Chris, on this reference to the swimming pool, and then we have the Rexplex, that's more the Burlington, the games, I haven't talked to Kathy about this, but is this something you can sort of join like, all these people come in our city using that plex, it's during the hot time of the season, those folks may not know we have a swimming pool that they could use, and is this something you can, like, incorporate, to show that, and to get to where we can use the pool, where they can come over there?
I think the opportunity is there. So I did something along that vein. I produced collapsible banners that are located in all of the sports complexes now that are targeted to people who are hungry. Where do you go to eat? People who are looking for fun things to do for your family, scan this QR code. People who need a place to stay. So I am already marketing in there in general. But if there's something specific you wanted to advertise, I think it's worth exploring.
I think Kathy's gonna be the point person on that, so.
You know where to find me. Yeah. That's a great idea. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So do we have a GIS presentation on sanitary sewer video?
Yep, I'm pulling it up.
While Chase is doing that, it just seemed like a good opportunity they've been utilizing the new camera quite a bit, and that camera is then, and the, whether it be photos or data or images or videos are attached to our GIS system. So wanted to just simply show you how that works with our GIS system, and then two, I just want to be able to show you a couple pictures and videos of that new camera that's in place and working. So that, yours.
So we don't have all of them loaded on here yet, but this is kind of just the start of it. But all the yellow lines, it'll be highlighted what we've TV'd, and then we'll send it off to Austin, and he'll load it on here. But once it gets on here, we've never had a location of anyone's sewer services, And once you stick your camera in there, we can, as we go, we mark every single service we see, or any broken pipe or any tree root or anything. We mark it as we're in the pipe, and then he's able to put it on here. And now we can see where people's services are coming out, and it's already helped us dramatically with people needing sewer work. There's probably at least a person every week that's asking some question about their service, and now we can help with it. And so that just, if there's a broken pipe or something, we take a picture of it while we're down there, and that you can go right to the picture of whatever it is or where it's at on the line is where the X's are, and you can see where there's different connections.
What's the roots tap? Is that roots of a tree? Is that?
Yeah.
Can you show that, what that looks like?
Yeah, if I can find it.
Fortunately, I have to see that one daily.
No, that's not a very good picture, but see if I can't find a better one.
Chase, is this layer going to be public, or do you have to have a special login?
Oh, right now it's all on
It's all in the back end right now.
on our end.
All of our connection information and curb box locations are on the back end. It's just, you don't want people to get on there and think it's an actual location, the actual measurement, and start digging or messing with things, really.
But
But they're more than happy to work with people if they want to contact us and they have questions and.
so here's the line that we're getting relined. We got a video. I clicked on it. It has a link to YouTube, and it'll open it up, and then there's the video of the line. And I mean, it's long. We're not going to watch it, but just an example. Walking through, and the guys will see that broken pipe. They'll turn the camera around, take a picture of it, and mark it, showing that's where it breaks at. And then I was just talking to Austin today, and he's going to make it so if we get in a line like this that needs lined, we're going to mark it showing that it needs lined in the future, and so then we at least have an inventory of what needs to be done. So it'll be marked and be a different color, so then we know what we need to do in the future. So
So then you can pre-plan and not have to worry about being on Christmas Day out there in sub-zero water.
Well, this is the reason we see this is because of the camera. If you see that broken pipe,
Yeah.
that's underneath the house. So if it ever were to break, it wouldn't be fixable. So that's why we're aligning it. And that it was caught because of the camera. So
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's definitely paid off for you guys then.
yep. And like I said, we've met a lot of people already since we've got it doing service work, so we can mark their service, so they know where to dig. Because before there's no way to mark it. So.
But in addition to your regular maintenance, now they'll be able to pre-plan, and, as you say, or repairs, identify maintenance that needs to be done sooner rather than later, cracks, alternatives. So when we were looking at the sewer that was going to be aligned, and you found one location recently where you had to, that was full of cracks and needed to be repaired.
Yep.
I don't remember where that was, but.
Well, this was one of them, the start of that, but the other one was on Houston, but I don't know.
That looks like it definitely helps then also when you're doing your budgeting then too, right? Because.
Well, that's what I was saying about the sewer lining. So we're gonna have everything rated, so then you know what needs to be done before.
Wow.
I think it was one of these, but I'll just pull up a picture.
So that one video you showed, was that the clay bird type? Was that clay type?
Yeah, it almost all is. All of it's
And
clay.
is it ours, or is it the person's connection?
It's ours.
And it goes under a house?
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
But
With this, obviously you have to deal with this stuff all the time. Is this public info where if they at least request it, we'll give it to them, like
Yeah.
where their connection meets?
Yep. If they get a hold of us, we will show them this, and most of the time we'll go out with the camera, and we've had a handful of people that will meet us out there, and they'll watch a video with us, and we'll show them exactly whatever they need to see. We just did it, with Rick Raleigh last week, so.
A lot of times I just need to know where it connects.
Yep.
You know, and actually the depth that you have on there is important too, of how deep it
Yep,
is.
and our locator will locate it, I mean, not exact, but close.
Yeah.
So if you find the service, and we can take our locator out there, it'll mark it and show how deep it is and everything, so.
Is that, are you talking about like for our part or for the homeowner that's gonna do it?
A lot of times it breaks at the connection to our part, so knowing exactly where that connection is, or at least close, and about how deep it is, that's important.
And it also, people say, well, your sewer's clogged. And now we can go out there and we can either say, yes, it is, or we can go to their service, and if you can look up in their service, and if it's full, I mean, you can say that's something that you need to take care of. So it kind of covers us as well, so.
I think it was a good investment.
Oh, very good investment, yes.
I really like the mapping of it. Long term, that'll be a lot of use.
Yep. And
Very useful.
we probably have another dozen that need to be put on here, but that's kind of what they've been working on the past couple weeks. They've started at areas that we knew we had a problem just because of issues in the past, but we never really knew what was going on. So that's where it started. And
Have you
then
done right out here, like Broadway?
we have not. We can.
Mike and Randy would have loved to have that, wouldn't they?
This only gets actually right where it's connected to our pipe, so
Yeah.
it doesn't replace.
It won't go all the way up the service line, but you can look up the service line and see if there's any issues there, so. I think
Just wanted to kind of give you an intro and show you what it's been done and how useful it's been, so appreciate it, Chase.
And I, kind of the same thing, but we've also been working with Austin for GIS to add layers for like the crack sealing, and when we put a layer on for like seal coating alleys, what years we did it, so we can go back and, or anytime we redo a road, it'll all be added on there and the dates and everything, so we can go back and look and see when it was done, so.
That sounds really good, too.
No longer just paper and no longer just in someone's memory. Although we still do tap those memories and just,
Chase, I also had to go out to the city shops earlier this week and want to compliment you guys, because that thing, I caught Lyle working on one of the cars, and I think it was, but the facility was extremely clean, just, all the times like that, but
Thank you.
appreciate the guys doing that.
Thank you. Well, that's all I got.
Chase?
Yep.
We'll go to a presentation from Burlington Public Library through our representative, Mrs. Teeter.
I'm sorry, I don't have any cool images to show. That was really interesting.
Almost anything's cooler than a sewer line.
yeah.
I know. Because it was really fascinating. It's
Cool
good to know
Chase,
that
you
we
cross the
have
line when you start, when you're like pumped about these sewer line videos.
I'm surprised you didn't run across raccoon in there or something like that,
Oh, it's still early.
That's better.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. Originally, I had planned to present a quarterly report to the council next month, and maybe I would have a PowerPoint for that. I don't this evening. But there is a pressing issue affecting how the Burlington Public Library will be able to serve the people of West Burlington, especially the children. And that is what has brought me here to speak to you this evening. As you might know, the Iowa legislature has been considering bills, among them HF 2622 and HF 2324. I have copies of those with me, but one of them is 7 pages long, and I'm not going to read through those, but I do want to point out some key features of those bills.
Would you mind giving those numbers one more time?
Oh, HF 2622 and HF 2324.
Thank you.
I did bring, I went on the the state government website and printed those. Some of them aren't as clear because they're talking about removing a section and then putting in a section, and without knowing what that section was, it's kind of vague. But I do have those, and I'll give those to Kelly if you want to have copies made. So.
I can look them up too as the.
These two pieces of legislation will significantly impact public libraries, including our own Burlington Public Library, of course. They have already passed through the funnel and will be voted on by our state representatives on March 20th, hence the need to act pretty quickly. If those measures pass, the bills then will go to the Senate for approval, and if they're approved there, signed into law by the governor, and they would go into effect July 1st of this year. Many council members, or I know some of you anyway, have been anxiously awaiting the scheduling of our new bookmobile. That was delayed because the company that had contracted to retrofit the van, that is the bookmobile, burned to the ground. And so it's going to take time to have a different company do that retrofitting. But if HF 2324 passes and becomes law, we won't have to worry about that because no bookmobile will stop at our schools or any school in the state. HF 2324 prohibits school library agreements with public libraries and bookmobiles. And I'm quoting here, "The board of directors of a school district shall not do any of the following. A, enter into any agreement with a public library that allows students enrolled in the school district to utilize identification cards issued by the school district to access any books, electronic resources, or other educational materials at the public library. And B, allow a mobile library to access school district property for purposes of hosting or participating in an event that allows students enrolled in the school district to check out books from a mobile library." So you might want to think about that for a moment. Currently, although we don't have a bookmobile, we have had representatives from the public library come into the schools, especially the West Burlington Elementary School, and do read-alouds to the students there. And they would no longer be able to do that. Bill HF 2622 amends the Iowa Code to, quote, enforce policies that prohibit minors from accessing materials deemed inappropriate for minors and allow parents access to monitor their children's borrowing activity. HF 2622 vaguely defines age appropriate as, quote, topics and messages suitable to particular ages based on developing cognitive, emotional, and behavioral capacity typical for the age. It also states age appropriate does, quote, does not include any material with descriptions or visual depictions of a sex act. Obviously, the writers of the bill are concerned that children entering a public library might be exposed to inappropriate, obscene, or pornographic material. As you probably know, libraries in the state of Iowa, including the Burlington Public Library, already have standards that prohibit the inclusion of obscene or pornographic materials. in their collections. In addition, libraries arrange collections in ways that facilitate readers accessing materials suitable for particular audiences. For example, if you were to go into the library, I was there yesterday, there's, the reading center for preschool age children or young children, and there were a lot of parents there with little children, and they had just finished an activity there. So that's their area. And there's another area for teens and so forth. Another item that this addresses, which I think has already been addressed by the procedures in place, is parents and guardians already have options for supervising their children's use of library resources. Financially speaking, beginning July 1st, 2027, quote, each city and each county within the unincorporated area of the county shall levy a tax of at least 6 3/4 cents per $1,000 of assessed value on the taxable property or the monetary equivalent thereof when all or a portion of the funds are obtained from a source other than taxation for the purpose of providing financial support to the public library that provides library services within that respective jurisdiction. And I don't know how that ties into the financial agreement that West Burlington has with Burlington, because I don't know. I know that there's a set amount that we pay for services through the Burlington Public Library, but I don't know in terms of the taxation. That's something maybe City Council knows. If, however, public libraries are found to be in violation of the age-appropriate policy, local tax funding will be withheld from the library. HF 2622 also prohibits any reference to the American Library Association or the Iowa Library Association standards. Currently, the standards in use require cities with a population over 15,000 to hire a library director with a master's degree from an ALA accredited institution. But that will stop. In addition, this proposed legislation removes the Library Bill of Rights, which was written by a Des Moines Public Library director, Forrest Spaulding, in 1938, and that's been a part of state standards for libraries ever since. I do not have a copy of that bill with me, but if you are interested in looking at the Library Bill of Rights, you could contact Burlington Library Director Brittany Jacobs, and she can provide that for you. Another section of the bill removes governance of libraries from library boards and moves all control to city councils, effective July 1st, 2026. This will definitely impact communities contracting with the Burlington Public Library. Right now, I'm a liaison to the board from this city council, but there won't be a board. I don't know if I can sit in on city council meetings and have any input there or not. Another requirement in the bill is that all materials in a public library collection must be reviewed and deemed age appropriate or not, and all determinations must be affirmed or denied by the city council. So that means looking over all of those materials. Currently, there are 180,000 books in the Burlington Public Library. I don't know how long it will take for people to read and determine the appropriate age level for all of those books, but I don't think that will happen very quickly. Until that's done, this would in effect close the library to children and youth under the age of 18. Also, all private gifts and bequests made to or for the benefit of the library will be accepted, held, and expended under the authority of the city council. So we would have no input on that. That would be the Burlington City Council. So it puts a lot, besides taking a lot away, it puts a lot of responsibility on city councils and administrators. And I don't know if they want or need this added responsibility. I don't know if this city council would have input on what's happening with the Burlington Public Library or not. You certainly have a lot that you're dealing with right now without having to read, some of the 180,000 books. As much as I enjoy reading, I think I would have a difficult time trying to get through all of those. If you are concerned about this legislation, oppose it as individuals or as a city council, I would ask you to contact our representative, Matt Rinker, and our state senator, Jeff Reichman, to request they vote no on these two bills.
Thank you. Questions?
Do you have any questions?
Effectively end the summer reading program.
It would, yes. I think that is correct.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
I beg pardon?
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Oh, you're welcome. It's not news I am happy to share, but something of which we need to be aware.
Seeing no citizen inquiries, I'll move directly to new business. Consider entering into legal services engagement agreement with Dorsey in connection with the city's proposed general obligation borrowing.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none. I don't need a voice.
No.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Go to number 2. Consider a resolution setting a date for public hearings on proposals to enter into general obligation loan agreements and to borrow money thereunder.
Motion to approve with, is it April 1st, is that correct? Motion to approve with April 1st as the date.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on this?
Just a reminder that the language is general, water, sewer, streets, all those kinds of things, and the items included in the urban renewal plan, specifically as well. And I will finalize the scoring sheet and bring that back to you as well, and you'll have that here shortly. But the language in the GO bond is generic, so that allows you flexibility.
Roll call, please.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Newberry. Aye. Diaz.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 3, consider a resolution waiving preliminary plat and adopting the final plat for
That one, sir.
We are. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Number 4, consider an annual subscription for ClearGov budgeting and financial planning software.
We covered this back in, I brought it up back in July, and it wasn't a budgeted item, so I wanted to add it into the budget this year. If I wanted to get the discounted rate, then I have to do the agreement by the 6th, and then we won't have to pay for anything until the 1st of July. It's got budgeting,
CIP.
the capital improvement, and it links into the website for interaction with the citizens and stuff.
Okay. I don't believe I had a motion yet.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and second. Thank you.
I remember back when you sent this out, taking a pretty good look at it, and for that cost, I didn't think the value was there, so I think what we have currently is sufficient. I think we have, frankly, really good reporting on our budgets already. So I'm not in favor of another piece of software to do something I think we're already doing very well. I think what you do now is well and above what other cities do and what better than our school district. Have an experience there. So this to me was unneeded.
Angie, is the stuff that you do now, is that just you doing it on a spreadsheet? Or is there a program you use?
We do it on our the software, and a lot of times they do it in a spreadsheet, put it in the software, vice versa.
But there's nothing we pay for right now that you're using, or there is?
The Tyler, it's what everybody
It's our
uses.
financial software system
Oh, okay, gotcha.
that we use
Just a portion of that.
for everything, in addition to Excel spreadsheets. Probably the best, and you may have a different one. If you're going to look at a site, I'd take a look at Bondurant's site. They utilize this software for budget, capital improvement planning, their public-facing component as well. So that's probably one of your better sites to look at unless you have an alternative.
Bondurant's the one that they sent me to.
Yeah.
What about time consumption, Angie? Does it help you in that area, time management and everything?
Yeah, because it tracks everything, everything's cloud-based. And I think a lot of the other big part is what we do now. Nothing, citizens can't get on our website and really look at it much. Because I post the PDF of the budget on there and such, and they see the treasurer's report and the expense report, but other than that, they don't see anything else.
So they'll see more things, more transparency then for citizens.
When was this due? You say the 6th of March?
This month.
It doesn't have any customer facing for budgeting for financial.
That was the lock-in the rate for next year. Otherwise, it goes up how much? Did they say?
I don't remember, I'd have to look. I had it just up here.
If you want, I'm just thinking out loud, if you wanted somebody to come down and show you the tools or have them do it online. I think the
Yeah,
gentleman's out of
He's out of Texas.
Texas.
Mhm.
And he might extend it too. I don't know if they will, but because you had asked that, I think they already held it to the 6th. I haven't used ClearGov. I used OpenGov before, which is Burlington is moving to utilize OpenGov. I think ClearGov is just a cleaner interface from
And
my experience.
I think that the OpenGov Burlington was paying.
Substantially more.
Substantial amount more, substantial amount.
I guess the question is, do you have enough information? Do you need more information or not want to proceed?
Where do you want to vote? Okay.
I'm good.
Well, Kelly, would you do this one as a roll call, please?
Crowner,
No.
Lees,
Aye.
Newberry. Aye. Diaz,
No.
Overt.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Number 5, consider a resolution setting the date.
We're missing number 3, the preliminary plat.
We skipped it.
We moved from the consent agenda.
Yeah, it was this one I removed here.
Clerk's monthly financial
Well,
report.
I'm
for
all,
January.
yeah. So I should go back to number 3.
I just was gonna explain, this was for the preliminary, this was the final plat for, Cousin Eddie subdivision, which is where the, RV park is gonna be. And they were just trying to get their paperwork settled with their attorney and different things, so they went past the 60-day window, that the recorder's office will accept the resolutions. They want it dated back, they won't accept something dated back at least 60 days. We just updated the dates on the resolution and plat, just so they can proceed with recording it.
Council's already approved it, there's no changes, they just needed an updated date.
Okay.
All motion to approve.
Or,
Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Newberry. Aye. Diaz.
I,
Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carries. So now I can go to number 5. Consider resolution setting the date for hearing and letting, approving the form of notice of hearing, approving the form of notice to bidders, and approving proposed plans, specifications, proposed form of contract, and engineer's opinion of probable costs for the Pat Klein water main replacement contract.
Motion to approve with the hearing set for April 15th.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion on this?
You notice the engineering cost estimate is higher. There is a bid alternate on here as well for locating, or for,
Shut-offs, water shut-offs.
right, locating and replacing up to the, up to and including the water shutoff, if I can talk, which cannot be located along the alley. So there is a bid alternate for those items in the packet.
Did you get a hold of Snyder's to make that correction on the location?
I already emailed them this afternoon. It says West Long Meadow instead of East Long Meadow on the document. So I emailed them this afternoon after your
There's two
call. Thank you
places
very
it
much.
was Listed. There were 2 places that it was listed.
I
Should be
just asked them to
each
review all of the documentation, so.
Roll call, please.
Newberry.
Aye.
Diaz. Covert.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6, final item. Consider a resolution and a letter in support of an application for fiscal year 2027 community project funding for the force main replacement project.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support.
I thought this was a really well put together letter. I think it has a lot of good points to it about how large that project is for our size of a town, and so thank you all for putting that together. I think it's well written.
Thank you. We've got about, I've got 5 or 6 different versions depending on what needs to be happening. We'll have letters of support from, Amy has submitted hers, Taylor Collins, I asked Mayor Billups yesterday and vice versa if they submit, Mike Norris, Regional Planning. Our letter, Chase and I put together a letter, as a separate letter as well, as the one coming from the council. And so I'll be filling out the application and then sending an email with the supporting documentation. Kelly updated the handout that we'll take with us to DC as well. But there's a lot of good data in there. And we utilized the 212-inch version that's in the study. Now, that engineering service agreement will be coming forward, and then we may find out additional information with the final design as well. But I really like the two 12-inch option, as it allows us to do repairs and maintenance on a regular basis. And we won't be filling any air release valves in with concrete in the future either. So we'll make sure that doesn't happen. But But it's a good project. It's a critical project for our community with a high cost attached to it. So I think it's a critical project, and I hope we can make our case. So.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Diaz,
I,
Gilbert,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Motion carries. Seeing no citizen inquiries, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Support. All